Good evening. This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Naja'atu Tijani. Welcome. Nigeria has promised to render the necessary support and assistance to the Republic of Chad to enable the country fully stabilize and return to constitutional order. President Muhammadu Buhari made the pledge while playing host to the President Transitional Military Council of Chad, Lieutenant General Muhammad Idris Deby Itno. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The Chadian transitional leader, Lieutenant General Muhammad Idris Deby Itno, is visiting Nigeria for the first time since coming to power on the 21st of last month. His father and president of the country, Marshal Idris Deby Itno, had died in the battlefield while leading troops to confront insurgents who had come in through Libya. A return to democratic order in the Republic of Chad is expected in 18 months. The transitional leader, General Muhammad Idris Deby, is here to seek ways of deepening and expanding existing relations between Nigeria and Chad in the fight against insecurity and other critical economic sectors. As President Muhammadu Buhari told the visiting leader behind closed doors, we are bound together by culture and geography, and we will help in all ways we can. Chad should not hesitate to ask for help in areas it deemed necessary. Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyema was at a high-level engagement.
Mr. President assured him of Nigeria's support. He expressed condolences at the passing of the Marshal. How grateful we are as a country and him personally with the role that Chad and under the Marshal have played in supporting Nigeria in the fight against terrorism, that a lot of the gains that have been made was really because of Chad's very strong support together also with Niger. And, he said that there are two big institutions that are based in Chad. There's the Lake Chad Basin Commission, and there's also the Multinational Joint Task Force, and that Nigeria will, over the next 18 months, continue to strengthen those two institutions, because in strengthening those two institutions is also helping the government of Chad and strengthening Chad.
Lieutenant General Muhammad Idris Deby, who explained to President Muhammadu Buhari circumstances surrounding his coming to power, thanked Nigeria for the solidarity shown after the passage of the former president. The main objective of the Transitional Military Council, he said, is national security and cohesion, as further explained by Geoffrey Onyema.
Well, he briefed Mr. President on the roadmap in Chad, how they came about this succession, and he explained that they've appointed as Prime Minister the leader of the opposition who came second in the elections, and that he has been charged with now organizing free, fair, democratic elections. The most important thing is that we do not have a vacuum in Chad, and that Chad will continue to play a very strong and important role with the side of Nigeria and the other multinational joint forces countries in the battle against terrorism. So that cooperation, I think, is we're now assured that it will continue and that we need not worry about a political or power vacuum in Chad.
During the visit, the Chadian leader said the Transitional Council is committed to democratic, free and fair polls in 18 months. He assured President Buhari, whom he acknowledged to be very close to his father, that they are ready to be guided by him and indeed Nigeria in their journey to constitutional order. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And keeping that tempo, the Nigerian Air Force 57th anniversary celebration has formally kicked off with special prayers for peace and progress at the Nigerian Air Force Jumat Mosque in Asokoro, Abuja, as well as a press briefing outlining activities for the 4-day event which will be held at the Nigerian Air Force Base Makurdi. The report. Ready, willing, able. This motto of the Nigerian Air Force has seen it evolve over 57 years into a formidable fighting force, which has adapted to the times by collaborating with other services in military operations. Kickstarting the series of events with special Jumat prayers, the Nigerian Air Force outlined some activities which also include a church service in compliance with COVID-19 protocols.
The 57th anniversary will be a low-key event, but is structured to enlighten Nigerians of the Nigerian Air Force's efforts in the fight against insurgency, terrorism, and armed banditry in the country.
With health and welfare being a central focus of the Nigerian Air Force, it is also organizing medical outreaches and is expected to unveil a telemedicine facility, the first of its kind in the armed forces of Nigeria.
And the aim of establishing this facility is to enhance the provision of excellent medical care to personnel and their dependents, as well as other civilian beneficiaries, at the lowest possible cost.
With the theme, Enhancing Nigerian Air Force Air Power Capabilities for Effective Joint Operations, the celebrations, which will mostly be held in Makurdi, will showcase this aspect of response to contemporary security challenges. Meanwhile, to effectively address insecurity in the country, guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria advocate restructuring, which will include devolution of powers and community policing as key to achieving results. They also maintain that implementation of issues raised in the Governor's Forum communique will go a long way. Alika Okpanachiarua reports.
The current wave of insecurity across the country has become a source of worry to all classes of the society. This also prompted the assemblage of leaders of diverse shades on Good Morning Nigeria to point the way forward, amongst them governors. The differences in their backgrounds notwithstanding, the guests agreed the nation's challenge have political, economic and legal undertones. The guests suggest that drastic measures, along with political will, is needed to bring the situation under control.
Most importantly is the security challenge we are facing in the country today. And we have sat down and deeply considered that as major priority, and that something has to be done so that our people can go about their lives without fear.
We had concern about even the capacity of the security forces. The capacity in the sense that the number that we have for us were inadequate. We had also concern about the capacity in terms of technology. And if that is a problem, let us also see where to get funds to also raise their standard.
They also advise that the time is right to turn to community policing, and with it, the creation of state police.
I think in this country now, we really need leaders who can come courageously to face the challenges that are facing all of us.
I am glad that the leaders, because the governors are the real leaders of the people, they are closest to their communities, that they have taken the bull by the horn and that they have come together and they've come up with this resolution.
To regain confidence and trust from members of the public, they appeal to leaders at different tiers of government to be transparent and accountable to the people. In Abuja, Alika Okpanachiarua, NTA News.
And on the health scene, 53 new COVID-19 infections have been recorded nationwide within the last 24 hours, bringing the country's total confirmed cases to 165,612. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, indicates that among the 53 cases, Lagos State has 36, Rivers 14, while Akwa Ibom State has recorded 3 cases. The total number of discharged cases so far, 156,387, while the death toll is 2,066. The World Health Organization has commended the Federal Capital Territory Administration's response to the pandemic and other public health challenges, describing its proactiveness as one of the best in the country. Hakimat Aliu tells us more.
Representative of World Health Organization, Walter Kazadi Molumbo, led a delegation on a visit to the FCT minister, where he commended the leadership on the ongoing COVID-19 response and the commitment to attaining the highest state of health of FCT residents. The effort of the Ministerial Advisory Committees on COVID-19 in the robust outbreak, which led to the highest containment, the highest testing rate per million, as well as high vaccination rate of 2.1% of the targeted population. The country representative applauded the public-private partnership through the Ministerial Expert Advisory Committee, which established the molecular diagnostic laboratories. Aside COVID-19 pandemic, the FCT administration was also commended for the improvement of maternal and child mortality rate in the FCT, amongst other health issues. FCT Minister Mohamed Musa Bello, on his part, commended WHO office in the FCT for its successes and pledged the administration's support for other UN programs within the territory. The minister also said that emphasis will be placed on budgetary support and counterpart funding in order to improve funding for WHO and other public health-related programs.
Authorities at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport have continued to put stringent safety measures following reported cases of a third wave and new variant of COVID-19 in some countries to prevent passengers from reimporting the virus. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
Malam Aminu Kano International Airport is usually characterized by heavy traffic of international flights. With the new variant and third wave of coronavirus in some parts of the world, particularly India and Brazil, safety managers have brought out their arsenals at the international wing of the airport for full protection of the country against COVID-19. Passengers coming in and out of the country have to undergo rigorous checks, which include sanitizing hands, physical distancing, temperature check, and COVID-19 certification.
Everything is going perfect. I'm happy to be in Nigeria for the first time, and hopefully things will roll very good.
It has never experienced any kind of, this development. It's a real development, actually.
I'm happy for what I have seen on ground in terms of measures against COVID-19.
Officials at the Aminu Kano International Airport who declined to speak on camera told NTA News that public enlightenment campaign has been mounted in and around the airport to create awareness. These and other measures put in place, they say, will no doubt help in overcoming the challenge of importing the new variant into the country. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Nationwide continues in Lagos with Michael Olaleye. Hello, it's over to you now.
Thank you, Najatu. As neighboring countries continue to record cases of COVID-19 new variant, Lagos State government says more stringent COVID-19 protocols will be introduced to check importation and transmission of the more deadly variant by inbound passengers into Lagos State. Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, stated this while briefing journalists on steps being taken to curb the spread of the pandemic in Lagos.
The Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, said, given the huge cost and length of time required to carry out the sequencing process, Lagos State government will deploy a three-phased approach to detect mutant strains of the virus. Phase 1 will involve a short-term deployment of mutant PCR kits, while samples will be sent to local and foreign partners for sequencing in the mid-term phase. The long-term phase seeks to boost the capacity of Lagos State to purchase its own sequencing technology.
We are preparing and building resilience, first of all, to ensure that we make it very difficult for a mutant or new strain virus to enter Lagos. But if it should, that we stop it in its tracks and we stop it from being transmitted into community and causing community transmission.
He stressed that apart from restrictions placed on inbound passengers from India, Brazil and Turkey by the federal government, Lagos State government is taking proactive measures to monitor movements of passengers from selected countries where mutants are circulating. Professor Abayomi insists that non-pharmaceutical interventions and respiratory hygiene, as well as other COVID-19 protocols, will remain in force and must be strictly adhered to. In Lagos, Musa Tolian, NTA News.
There is a new and baffling reason why mobile phones get stolen these days. Findings have shown that the robbers no longer steal devices with intent to steal, but for more sinister reason, digital fraud. Imole Otokede Ogunfowora investigates this wave of crime and how individuals can avoid being victims.
I act for a living. My kind of hacking is called SIM transaction. It's a form of local hacking. I work on SIM card that receive bank transaction alerts and withdraw all the money from the victim's account.
At first glance, it doesn't even look educated, but it somehow acquired a complicated technical skill that has cost law-abiding citizens their money. For the alleged crime, this 27-year-old man was arrested by the Nigerian police. He allegedly hacks into people's phones and withdraws money from the victim's bank account. In his confession, he revealed that the theft is aided by just the SIM card and the bank verification numbers BVN. The big question is, how susceptible is a SIM card to fraud?
Before now, it wasn't so much of a security risk. Now, because the SIM card has a memory on it that can store phone numbers and other details, particularly, even up to SMS, for instance, whenever an hacker goes through your phone records, an SMS, it can pick out some information that it can use on that.
Many Nigerians say they have been defrauded in this manner.
In about 2 hours after my phone was stolen, I saw a debit alert that was through my mail, through my email. I checked with my friend's phone and then immediately I called my bank.
How can people safeguard their SIM cards from hackers?
When you save things on the phone, make sure that your phone is passworded or preferably use biometrics. So biometrics are things like your fingerprint, your eyes, your face. With those features, even if someone steals your phone, they can't get your fingerprint, they can't get your eyes.
The best thing you do to be able to save yourself all this headache is to password your SIM card. Once you password your SIM card, you are safe.
Experts, however, pointed out that more work needs to be done on the part of financial institutions in terms of beating the hackers at their game and protecting customers' deposits. In Lagos, Imole Otokede Ogunfowora, NTA News.
Time now for some messages. Nationwide continues shortly. Please stay.
COVID-19 Task Force have publicly taken the vaccine to follow in the footsteps of President Buhari and Vice President Oshibaja. To obtain it yourself, please go to the NPHCDA website. There is a link to click on in order to register and schedule your vaccination. In the meantime, please continue to wear face masks, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and observe social distancing. This message was brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
Visit our website on www.nta.ng for more news and updates, or follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now. You can also like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/NTA Network News. Stay connected and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our news live streaming at www.nta.ng/live.
Although social media as a channel of communication is inherently harmless, it becomes harmful and damaging when used without discretion and thoughtfulness. Bad social media users spread rumors and fake news without verification. But good social media users stop, reflect, and verify information before sharing it. Be a good social media user. Stop the spread of fake news. Verify the authenticity of your source and use social media responsibly for a better Nigeria. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency.
Fulham travel to St Mary's after the heartbreak of relegation. Will they have any heart left to put up a fight against Southampton? This Saturday, it's Southampton versus Fulham on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 2:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu in association with Goal.com.
It's nice to know you're still watching Nationwide. With prayers and supplication to the Almighty, Nigeria will pass through these trying times and come out stronger. This is part of the message by Imam Aliyu Hammari Walama, who led the congregational Eid prayers to end the Ramadan fast. Emmanuel Akila reports.
This is the climax of the 30 days fasting in the Islamic month of Ramadan by the Muslim community in Gombe State. After the 2 Rakat Eid prayers, clerics prayed for Nigeria to overcome security challenges, admonishing parents to train their children to imbibe peaceful lifestyle for a united and prosperous Nigeria. The Salah Daba, which showcased the rich cultural heritage of the House of Fulani on the Joel in the Savannah, followed the Eid prayers, where Governor Mahmoud Ino Yahaya, his deputy, Manasa Daniel Jato, and other government officials were hosted by the Emir of Gombe, Alhaji Abubakar Shehu Abubakar III. Back at Government House is a lunch for all in the spirit of the celebration. The message by the governor is that of patriotism and peaceful coexistence for development.
We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us peace, not only in Gombe State, but in our neighborhood states, in the northern Nigeria and in the wider Nigeria as a whole.
The people thank God for peace in the state and a successful spiritual rejuvenation in the month of Ramadan.
Two things is first to ask all of us, Gombe people and all other persons, to continue praying for the country.
The celebration continued peacefully across the state. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
And as the Salah celebrations continue, the Emir of Daura, Alhaji Umar Farouk Umar, has organized a special prayer session in his emirate to seek God's intervention to end the current insecurity in some parts of Nigeria. NTA correspondent Hussaini Suleiman reports that as this year's Eid al-Fitr Durbar was cancelled in consideration of the security challenges in some parts of Katsina State, the Emir directed that prayers for restoration of peace and security be held across the emirate. Alhaji Umar Farouk Umar enjoins his people and all Nigerians to continue to pray for Allah's guidance and wisdom towards finding a lasting solution to the security challenges in the country. And Eid al-Fitr comes with celebrations, especially among Muslims, after the month-long Ramadan fast. What impact does COVID-19 have on the celebration? Mitaire Ikben in our next report takes a look at the Salah celebration in the nation's capital under the new normal of COVID-19 restrictions.
For the second year running, the COVID-19 protocols are dictating how Eid al-Fitr is observed. At the National Mosque, face masks were made available to worshippers who converged for the Eid prayers.
The circular says places of worship should not accommodate more than 50% of the capacity. Of course, that's what we did automatically. For example, we have 70 rows in the mosque. We eliminated 35.
One of the worshippers, Mubarak Mohammed, tells me it's not been easy using face masks in the last 1 year. He cannot wait for the pandemic to be over.
It's very difficult, but as a patriotic citizen of the nation, we just have to be law-abiding. And at the same time, the prayers, we just have to endure.
The Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 has emphasized that the COVID-19 restrictions and protocols are not punitive, but have been put in place to safeguard public health as well as ensure a balance between saving lives and livelihoods. The government has again ordered the closure of recreational centers for the next 1 month, but some fun seekers still made their way to some recreational facilities. This center now looks like a museum. The disappointment on their faces is obvious as the fun seekers merely moved around to feed their eyes.
Frankly speaking, it's not how it used to be before.
The last time I came here, I had some friends, but now that there is COVID-19, they say social distancing, no friends. So I don't have friends to talk to play with.
The Utako market in the nation's capital leaves much to be desired with regard to COVID-19 protocols, particularly as mandatory use of face mask is flouted. I asked this buyer if she felt safe without the face mask.
I don't feel safe at all. I have my mask, but then it's in the car. I don't feel safe with or without mask. I don't feel safe at all coming to the market because everything is clustered and there's nothing you can do about it. You still have to come to the market at the end of the day. So many people are uneducated about the mask. They just feel they wear it for the police, they wear it for the NCDC, personnel, not for safety because they are not well educated about it.
Certainly, more sensitization and enforcement of the COVID-19 protocols are required from the relevant agencies. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
And still in the spirit of Salah celebrations, Ifeoma Ojinta brings us the sights and sounds at some recreational parks visited in the Federal Capital Territory.
This Eid al-Fitr and recreational parks are expected to be packed full with fun seekers, but that is not so as fun seekers couldn't gain access into the Millennium Park to have fun and celebrate Salah.
I finished our fasting and now we are even want to celebrate Salah. That is why I even carry my family here. But unfortunately, I think due to coronavirus, so that is why they refused to allow us to enter.
However, the Magic Land opened for business but was devoid of the usual crowd during festive periods as management admitted a limited number of people to avoid crowd.
After the fasting, we are happy, we are here, we are enjoying ourselves.
Everything is fine, alhamdulillah. So we came here with them to just have a little fun.
All COVID-19 precautionary measures were being observed at the park. Ifeoma Ojinta, NTA News.
They looked like they were having fun there. President Muhammadu Buhari rejoices with Chief Monzo Oluwoshagu, publisher of Oriwu Sun newspaper, on his 70th birthday on May 15, 2021. The president salutes Oluwoshagu for his resilience, which has seen him publishing Oriwu Sun for 36 years, turning it into the foremost community newspaper in the country. The President felicitates with the family, friends and professional colleagues of the chief, asking the media entrepreneur to use his professional skills in nurturing a younger crop of journalists who would value fidelity to ethics and professionalism. He wishes Chief Olusegun longer life and greater wisdom to serve the society and journalism, a profession he loves so much. And back to COVID-19 matters. The mop-up of COVID-19 vaccination begins in Ogun State. Details of this and more with Lanre Idowu in Ibadan. Hello, Lanre.
Hello, Najatu. Good to see you and welcome to Ibadan. More residents, especially health workers and senior citizens, are benefiting from phase 2 of COVID-19 vaccination at selected primary health care centers in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State. Joel Wopola has details.
The mop-up vaccination exercise against COVID-19 is geared towards ensuring those exempted in the previous vaccination exercise are given the opportunity to take the AstraZeneca jab to stop community transmission of coronavirus. The turnout for the vaccination this time was, however, a far cry compared to the first phase of the exercise, which some respondents blamed on inadequate public enlightenment before the commencement of the exercise. Those who took the jab expressed confidence in the AstraZeneca vaccine, which they say has given them a sense of protection.
Okay, and I feel safe that, okay, I've gotten the vaccine, knowing fully well that, okay, I am to an extent protected, you know.
I believe taking the vaccine will give you a sense of security.
It's just a feeling of, like any other injection. There's no pain, no drowsiness, nothing of such.
Since it is prevention against COVID-19, so everybody must take it as advised by the health authority.
The 9 days exercise is expected to increase the number of those vaccinated in Ogun State significantly. In Ijebu-Ode, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
Governments at all levels and corporate bodies have been asked to support the National Park Service in the conservation of historical and archaeological attractions in the country. This was the submission of stakeholders on the archaeology of Oyo Empire. Unle Adebayo has the details.
Telling history in the pages of books is not enough, like having them in images. The photographic exhibition revealed the work of archaeologists like Professor Akewumi Ogudiran in analyzing the physical remains of the past in the pursuit of a comprehensive understanding of human culture. Result to diverse population locally and internationally. Oyo National Park, covering an area of over 2,500 square kilometers, located in Oyo and Kwara State, is the 4th largest among the 7 in Nigeria. From Oyo, Adekunle Adebayo, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. More reports after the break with Susan in Makurdi.
Contemporary times require practical skills to remain competitive and relevant in your organization. Therefore, take advantage of NTA TV College short proficiency courses to sharpen your professional skills. Intermediate camera operation techniques. Date 17th May to 11th June 2021. 4 weeks. Electrical power, earthing, lighting, UPS, inverter and solar system. Date 31st May to 4th June 2021. 1 week. Studio broadcast equipment and OB operations. Date 14th June to 18th June 2021. 1 week. English grammar and pronunciation for broadcasters. Date 28th June to 23rd July 2021. 4 weeks. The course fee for the 4-week course is 100,000 naira per participant, while the course fee for the 1-week course is 40,000 naira only. Accommodation inclusive. Venue for all the courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA TV College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, Jos. Training you to be the best you want to be.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide a company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. Application for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
The Sports Parliament, your weekly sports program, is back to the studio every Thursday, 10:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. live on the Nigerian Television Authority, Africa's largest television network. Watch out for the parliamentarians with renewed vigor and zest. Mr. Speaker with his gavel to harmonize sports resolutions. Sports Parliament, a must-watch. Sports Parliament, the home of sports verdict. The eyes have it.
Fulham travel to St Mary's after the heartbreak of relegation. Will they have any heart left to put up a fight against Southampton? This Saturday, it's Southampton versus Fulham on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 2:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu in association with Goal.com.
It's good to have you join us in Makudi. Following recent killings, kidnapping and banditry activities in Benue State and its environs, the State Police Command says it has continued to make significant progress in uncovering banditry activities in the state. Police Public Relations Officer Benue State Command Sewese Anene has disclosed that some arrests have been made and some bodies recovered. Sandra Dowese Akeme has more.
The Benue State Police Command told NTA News that during its investigation, mass graves were uncovered in the Katinala local government area of the state. Police Public Relations Officer in the state said the discovery was made possible by the arrest of 2 of the 8 gang members of kidnappers in Osun State last week, who led the police team to their various hideouts. The gang members were identified as Ondase Tesi, a.k.a. Bob Teti, 23, and Okashima David, a.k.a. Cash Money.
Suspects were interrogated, and at some point they opted to take the detectives to a place where they bury their slain victims. So the team got there with them and discovered a shallow grave where they had buried some of their victims. Upon further interrogation, the suspects admitted that some of the victims died because of the difficulty of surviving hostage in that harsh environment, while some of the victims were killed because they could not pay the required ransom.
The PPRO added that the suspects claimed to have been working for one Azonto, a militia and the late Ghana's second-in-command, and were responsible for several kidnappings and killing of security agents in the Sankara area, which consists of Katinala, Logo, and Ukun local government areas of the states.
People of Katsina local have confidence in police now, especially the recent activities of the work that I've done in my local government.
We told the government that peace is a process. It is not a one-day assignment. We should form a committee, a peace committee, so that from time to time we'll be conducting these people, going to the areas, talking to them, so that by the end, peace will return.
The victims were identified as John Yitamin, Catherine Akishi, and David Fidelis, as well as wives of the 2 suspects who confessed to killing their wives during a misunderstanding. In Makudi, Sandra Dowese Akeme, NTA News.
Governor Samuel Otom has called on media practitioners to use communication as a channel to foster unity in the state and country as a whole. He stated this at the 2021 Media Week and Communication Day organized by the Catholic Diocese of Makurdi, Benue State. Blessing Omeche Ebute has details.
Communications Day is set aside to highlight some of the major challenges that have served as cog in the wheel of development and progress of the nation, with a view to seeing how best these can be resolved. Governor Samuel Otom described media professionals as those who sacrifice time, energy and resources in carrying out their work, and said his administration is open to constructive criticisms that will foster good governance.
We must find a way of teaching vernacular in our schools because we must know our history.
Bishop Catholic Diocese of Makurdi, Most Reverend Wilfred Anagbe says, going by the various happenings in the state and indeed the country, there is the need for people to report their stories by themselves and challenge social media users to use the medium objectively. Other speakers appreciated the Directorate of Social Communications of the Catholic Diocese for organizing the maiden edition of the Media Week and Communications Day, as it will help journalists embrace objectivity in their reportage. High point of the event was the unveiling of the Journal on Media Education and Democracy. The World Communications Day was established by Pope Paul VI in 1967. The theme for the 2021 Media Week and Communications Day is Come and See, Communicating by Encountering People Where and As They Are. In Makurdi, Blessing Omeche Ebute, NTA News.
And that's our package from Makurdi. It's back to Naja'atu in Abuja for more on NTA Nationwide.
Thank you, Susan. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has approved an additional 440 polling units in Bayelsa State, with Resident Electoral Commissioner Dr. Cyril Omorigbe reiterating the Commission's commitment to enhancing voter accessibility to polling units across the state. Ebinimi Sitiyola reports.
Statistics by INEC indicates that Nigeria has never recorded above 35% of voters' turnout during election. To remedy the situation, the Commission is embarking on expanding voters' access to polling units. Existing voting points and settlements are being converted into full polling units. In a stakeholders meeting, Resident Electoral Commissioner Bayelsa State, Dr. Cyril Omorigbe, said the Commission has converted additional 440 voting points to polling units, bringing the total polling units in the state from 1,804 to 2,244. The Commission noted that in arriving at the new polling units, it used the criteria of 750 voters per polling unit, health and safety concerns, including convenient public infrastructure, the elderly and physically challenged.
This exercise wasn't about making a case. It has to do with just converting polling units into voting points. Hopefully in the next exercise, after our CVR, we'll now have the number to actually make a case and say we need X number of polling units.
Participants at the event commended the Commission but expressed mixed feelings on the exercise.
Look at the peculiarity of our terrain and ensure that you take that into consideration in whatever you are doing in this exercise.
In Yenagua, Ebinimi Zitimiola, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the INEC office in Udenu local government area of Enugu State has been set ablaze. The suspected arson incident took place around 8:40 p.m. on Thursday, 13th May 2021. No casualty was reported. However, the office building was extensively damaged, while electoral materials and office equipment were destroyed in spite of efforts of the Enugu State Fire Service to contain the inferno. This is the third incident involving INEC's local government offices in 3 states in less than 2 weeks. INEC National Commissioner for Information Festus Okoye says the Commission will convene an emergency meeting with all the resident electoral commissioners on Wednesday, 19 May 2021 in Abuja ahead of a meeting with security agencies to put an end to the increasing rate of arson attacks on INEC facilities. More stories on Nationwide as we join Asma'u Habibu Shagari in Sokoto. Good evening, Asma'u.
Thank you, Naja'atu. Good evening and welcome to Sokoto. Wife of Sokoto State Governor Maria Aminu Waziri Tambuwal has stressed the need for Nigerians to continue to evolve programs aimed at assisting orphans to realize their potentials to the fullest. This is coming as she celebrates Salah with children at the orphanage Sokoto. Sheikh Muhammad Datti reports.
This is the orphanage in Sokoto, and these children live without their biological families. Ordinarily, these children celebrate Salah in isolation, devoid of the pomp and pageantry in the larger society. The wife of the state governor, Maria Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, decided to celebrate the Eid al-Fitr with these children. The aim is to show love and care to them, especially at this festive period. She shared food and other confectionaries with the children. The governor's wife emphasized on the need for Nigerians, especially well-to-do, to support the government's effort of ensuring the well-being of the orphans wherever they might be. Highlight of the event was a presentation of portrait to the governor's wife by the children. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
Following the increase in bandit attacks that claimed many lives and displaced hundreds of people in Sakaba local government area of Kebbi State, communities in the area deserted their homes. However, normalcy has gradually returned in the area and the residents are returning back. Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagru visited Dankolo and other communities affected on Eid al-Fitr Day to sympathize with the people, reassuring the deployment of more security personnel to ensure peace prevails. Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports.
The returning displaced communities include Dankolo, Makuku, Maganda, and Sakaba, among other settlements bordering Niger and Zamfara states in Zuri Emirate of Kebbi State. These and more communities have witnessed incessant bandit infiltration recently from neighboring Zamfara and Niger State, particularly Dankosagu and Sakaba local government areas of Kebbi State, inflicting casualties, kidnap, rustling of livestock, and cutting away food items of the peasant communities, which forced them to desert their homes for safer places. Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagru, who visited the area amid Eid al-Fitr celebration, sympathized with the people over the mayhem caused by the bandit, assuring that federal and state government as well as stakeholders are working together to ensure normalcy is fully restored back in the area.
A lot of people had come back to the town and they have observed Eid al-Fitr that is being celebrated. They have called for more security support, which I assured them.
We have to encourage them to provide more security so that at least their means of livelihood is not affected.
Governor Bagudu, who noted with joy that farmers already commenced planting their farmlands, urged the people to remain steadfast, assuring that more security personnel will be deployed as a matter of urgency to safeguard lives and property in the area. The only hope and prayers for the returnees at Dankulu and other communities is to see more deployment of security personnel to safeguard their precious lives.
Humanity has actually begun and they have started going back.
Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
And that is the size of our package from Sokoto. The news will continue with Naja'atu in Abuja.
Thank you, Asma'u. Nigerian youth have been challenged to take advantage of the enormous agriculture business opportunities offered to them to improve their livelihoods and enhance sustainable national development. This was at a business development training for the first batch of 4,200 incubators organized by the federal government, IFAD, and the Cross River State government. Maureen Leo Ajom reports.
Livelihood Improvement Family Enterprise Niger Delta is a project for the Niger Delta states aimed at realizing a transformed rural economy in the Niger Delta region, in which the rural populace can derive prosperity and equal benefits.
It's going to also create employment for the teeming youth and women of this country.
The project, according to organizers, will enhance income, food security and generate employment for 38,250 rural youths and women through agribusiness development on a sustainable basis.
Be trained on cash management, on record keeping, on savings.
This project, which aligns with President Muhammadu Buhari's diversification agenda to enhance food security and sufficiency, is adopting the novel incubator model. Major commodities in the project are cassava, rice, poultry and fish, as well as vegetables. In Cross River State, the project is being implemented in 10 local government areas and 100 communities, targeting youths and the physically challenged. In Calabar, Maureen Leo Ajom, NTA News.
An outbreak of what health authorities in Kano State have confirmed as gastroenteritis in Koya Community, Minjibur Local Government Area, Kano State, has resulted in 6 deaths and 26 admissions at the General Hospital, Minjibur. Hadiza Muhammad reports.
The Commissioner of Health, Dr. Ibrahim Tsanyawa, said the ministry has received a report on the outbreak of gastroenteritis in Koyo Community of Azure Ward in Minjibur Local Government Area. This calls for the prompt intervention of a team from the State Ministry of Health to the area and listed some patients. Presently, 6 people have lost their lives as 26 bedridden at the Minjibur General Hospital are receiving treatment.
Out of these 62, we have discharged so far 30 patients and we have lost 6 patients.
Interventions have since been extended to even neighboring areas of Koyo Community. The State Commissioner of Health, Dr. Ibrahim Tsanyawa, advised the general public to improve on personal and environmental hygiene and avoid consuming powdered drinks to maintain good health.
We had some outbreak about 3-4 weeks ago, which were associated with consumption of this unwholesome enzyme and other powdered drinks. So we also discourage the use of enzyme.
The State Ministry is further conducting medical investigation on the outbreak. In Kano, Hadiza Muhammad, NTA News.
Thank you, Hadiza. The Imo Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps says it is re-strategizing to ensure an end to illegal bunkering and oil theft in the state. Reina Uhiri reports that the state commandant, Michael Oga, made this known while parading a truck of diesel intercepted at Okigwe.
The truck containing 40,000 liters of diesel was intercepted at Okigwe, Imo State, by officers of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. The truck containing adulterated products is said to have taken off from Aba, Abia State, heading to Kano with fake documents containing false declaration. The state commandant, Michael Oga, while briefing newsmen at the command headquarters, Owerri, declared zero tolerance to such acts, describing it as inimical to the economic growth of the country.
So I've mobilized more men for intelligence and also collaborating with other agencies. And security is not only for security men, it's everybody's business, including you. So we need more information from you and the public.
He says as part of efforts geared towards ending bunkering and oil theft, the command has deployed more officers with adequate logistics to man transit routes in Imo State. The state commandant, who recently took over the mantle of leadership, assures that his men are now better prepared to forestall further loss of officers in the fight against insecurity. In Owerri, Reina Uhiri, NTA News.
And up next is Sports Update with Ayodeji Makinde.
Tokyo Olympics-bound Elizabeth Ayanacho has continued her intensive preparations towards a podium finish at the Games in Japan, while sparring with 6 of Nigeria's best black belts in a fight camp in Abuja, supervised by 2008 Olympic bronze medalist Chika Chukwumerije.
It's one of the best sections for me right now because I haven't gotten a lot of competition for a while. So this camp right now is very, very good for me because it will help me keep the fighting spirit going.
In football, 4 Nigeria Professional Football League-based players, including Anayo Iwuala and goalkeeper Ikechukwu Ezenwa, have been included in the 31 provisional list of players invited by Super Eagles technical advisor Gernot Rohr ahead of the international friendly between Nigeria and Cameroon at Vienna Neustadt in Vienna, Austria on June 4. Others invited are Leicester City's duo of Wilfred Ndidi and Kelechi Iheanacho, just as Kano Pillars forward Ahmed Musa, France-based Terem Murphy and Paul Onuachu made the cuts. Meanwhile, Nigerians are drumming support for Enyimba International of Aba ahead of their CAF Confederation Cup encounter against Pyramids FC of Egypt on Sunday. The People's Elephants arrived North Africa Friday for the first leg quarterfinal with the full complement of players, as the country's sole representative remaining in this season's CAF club competitions.
The two-time African champions, we have to do everything to make sure they are back in the winning ways. It's been long they tasted winning in their outings. Don't forget the last 2 matches, the outstanding they play in the NPFL, they lost 2 matches.
To the English Premier League now, Southampton welcome already relegated Fulham on Saturday at 2:30 p.m. in a match that will be live on the NTA network. Also, West Ham United's quest for European football next season will be tested when they visit Brighton at the MX Stadium. With sports updates, Ayodeji, Makinde
and Sports Update concludes nationwide. Thanks for watching, but remember to connect with NTA and stand against rape and rapists. I'm Naja'atu Tijani, wishing you a fantastic weekend.
You can get more news and updates on www.nta.ng or follow us on our Twitter handle at NTA News Now. You can also like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/NTA Network News, and also stay connected and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Also remember to watch our news live streaming at www.nta.ng/live.